Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Fringlish and today I'm bringing you the Katana Dragon review, performed by our very own Reaper Iru. Imagine if Zelda grew up in the Hidden Leaf Village, slapped on some voxel armor, and set out on a bite-sized hero's journey with nothing but sheer willpower and a suspiciously sharp wooden sword. That's the general vibe. It's got the soul of an old-school adventure. Think Game Boy era pacing, the look of modern voxel charm, and the feel of a Saturday morning ninja cartoon your mother probably told you was a bit too violent. Visually, it's a lot like Stonehearth had a strange but passionate collision with a Zelda game, and Pokemon's early game charm wandered in afterwards, got a bit lost, and decided to stay for tea. Not in terms of the mechanics, there's no turn-based battles or adorable rodents, but that same cozy rhythm, with towns, the quirky characters, a little light puzzling, and a soft sense of magic stitched through everything. And the soundtrack is straight out of Maple Story. Whimsical, bouncy, and just jazzy enough to distract you from the fact that everything in the forest wants you dead. Now, full disclosure, myself and Reaper, but myself especially, is awful at these games, as you'll probably see in the coming footage. Platforming over ravines? Nightmare fuel. Fast flying bats? Hard pass. Rolling pumpkin monsters? That's a deep personal attack. Everything in this game seems offended by our presence. And yet, he keeps playing, because even when Katana Dragon hurls you off a cliff, it does it with the playful energy of a cheeky sensei teaching you a lesson. The hard way, the very hard way. You fail often, but always with a grin and just enough progress to convince you to go again. Because you're definitely going to get it this time. So let's crack open the menu and see what this cube-crafted chaos is really packing. The interface is wonderfully clean. A tidy row of icons stretched across the top, like a ninja's belt of mayhem. First stop, skills. You start with 3. Those skills might be generous depending on how you use them. Ninja Dash lets you vault gaps and broken bridges, replacing a jump button with a pure forward aggression. Meditate is your calm in the storm button. Stand still, breathe deeply, and hope nothing hits you while your ki regenerates. And Ninja Instinct, that's your stylish last-second dodge. Get it right and you zip away with a burst of speed. Get it wrong, and you eat a faceful of pumpkin. Next up, equipment. Purely cosmetic at this point, but let's be honest, sometimes looking legendary is half the battle. Then you've got Dragon Gems. Up to 3, socketed into your sword hilt. You'll find them in chests after big fights or elaborate traps. Basically prizes for surviving nonsense. Cursed Seals are where it gets interesting. These are magical modifiers with downsides. My favourite so far, the Ginkgo Leaf. Plus 5 health regen and minus 20% attack. It's like trading in your sword for a pillow. Well, it's powerful, especially if you run away a lot. The map is a lovely parchment-style layout. It shows your position, what you've missed, and subtly judges your inability to finish anything properly. And then there's the Gokarium, your monster log. Less cuddly than a Pokédex, more of a living scrapbook of things that want to eat you. Lastly, options, because sometimes you need to turn down the volume on your own suffering. Once you've closed the menu, the world opens up. And by opens up, I mean lovingly tries to end you. You can swing your sword at just about anything. Most of it's harmless, decorative even, but occasionally you'll strike gold, or sushi. Urns are scattered everywhere, clearly leftovers from some ancient ninja estate sale. Bushes and reeds, also destructible, and if you're lucky, a juicy little sushi icon will pop out to heal you, because obviously forest sushi is safe to eat. Interaction is handled with the E key, which works on most useful objects, though if you try it on something unresponsive, your character just lets out a chirpy little in protest. Cute at first, but a bit much after your 50th rejection. And speaking of noise, the kid never stops. Every dodge, swing, bump, or idle moment comes with a little sound effect. Leave him standing for too long and he'll fall asleep, snoring and all. Adorable and slightly unsettling. Fall into water or down a ravine? No big deal. You just respawn before the jump, minus a chunk of health and a small piece of your dignity. Just don't keep holding the arrow key down after respawning, or you'll gracefully leap back in again, and again, and again, and again. Defeated enemies often drop useful stuff. Gems, cursed seals, healing foods, even key boots. You can revisit areas too. Leave a zone, come back, and everything resets. Monsters, loot, pots. It's a grinder's paradise, or a perfectionist's punishment, depending on your mood. Your gourd is a lifesaver, literally. You wear it on your belt, like a ninja's emergency flask. Hit Q, and it will restore about half your health. Perfect for fighting boss fights, assuming you don't mind spending 30 seconds frantically dodge rolling while it cools down. And speaking of boss fights, yes, there are plenty. The first I encountered was a shrieking bat that poisoned me, body slammed me, and generally expressed itself with great enthusiasm. Classic. The map holds 24 treasures in the first region alone, along with 3 caves and 4 wells, the latter usually found in people's backyards. Descend into one, and you'll find a mini-dungeon or a boss chamber waiting for you. Make it to the end, and you'll be rewarded with loot and trauma, but mostly loot. You'll often find boxes near broken bridges or gaps. These are your friends. You can push, pull, or even throw them, especially handy when the game demands some makeshift platforming to reach otherwise inaccessible areas. Save points are little green roofed buildings you'll find tucked into corners of the world. Step inside, tap the altar, and you've got yourself a proper save. But there's also a soft save system. If you do die to a boss or trap, you're kicked back to the start of the region, or to the last room in the case of dungeons. Just don't expect it to be generous. It remembers. Eventually, you unlock the ability to switch characters at Sensei's house. A peaceful little dojo of wisdom, encouragement, and questionable parenting practices. You can switch between the boy and his sister. And honestly, she seems slightly more competent, or at least quieter. There's also a tantalizing co-op option. Unfortunately, emphasis on option. Click it and you just get a message that reads, "We need a lot of support and help on Steam to make co-op possible." The translation? It's not here yet, but they're dreaming big. In the meantime, we get something almost as good, the Shadow Clone skill. At first glance, Shadow Clones seem flashy. Ninja magic, cool particle effects, mysterious afterimage, but its real value? Standing still, specifically standing on pressure plates. These puzzles start simple. Put a box on a plate, door opens. Maybe stand there yourself if you're desperate, but later, doors slam shut the second you step off, and suddenly there's no crate in sight. That's where the Shadow Clone comes in. Press the button, leave a ghost of yourself standing on the switch, and stroll through like a smug shadow sorcerer. Even better, it works in combat. Walk into a room full of angry mobs, drop your clone, watch as every enemy charges it, just like it insulted their mother. While they swarm your ghost, you circle behind and do your work, one by one. Quiet, surgical, brilliant. Like a ninja. Combat in general is straightforward but satisfying. Dodge, slash, maybe throw a shuriken or two once you unlock them. It's a dance. One part strategy, one part button mashing, all parts chaos. The different regions help keep it fresh too. One moment you're running through peaceful meadows, the next you're creeping through dense bamboo forests or skidding across golden beaches. Each area adds a new layer, new puzzles, new traps, new enemies that hate you in excitingly specific ways. Now, I'll be honest, during one of my dungeon runs, I alt-tabbed to jot some thoughts down, and the game promptly froze. Crashed. Gone. Although soft saves? Yeah, not real saves. So I was booted back to the start of the region. Rough, but hey, it's early access. These things always happen. And despite that hiccup, I kept playing, because Katana Dragon, with all its quirks, is kinda wonderful. It's got the energy of a classic adventure, the polish of Voxel Passion Project. It's charming, punishing, and unexpectedly clever. The kind of game that might punch you in the face and offer you tea afterwards. Which I think is perfectly fine as long as you can get a biscuit, but that's not implemented yet. We'll see. If the devs see it through, co-op, polish, proper saves, Katana Dragon could absolutely blossom. So, if you're up for a solo ninja journey that will make you laugh, swear, and possibly yell at strangers, Katana Dragon might just be your next obsession. Thank you very much for watching this review on Katana Dragon. My name is Frenglish, and you've been wonderful. Till the next time, toodles.